You just went to Shanghai, right, in
Yes.
September?
Yes.
Yeah, Shanghai is a very prominent healthcare hub. Were there any innovative medical methods or innovative labs that really impressed you?
Well, Juju, I'm really glad you brought that up because that was just a recent visit in September, as you say. I had a wonderful opportunity to have a meeting, a sit-down meeting, a long one, with Mayor Gong of Shanghai. And it's not often that CEOs actually have a chance to meet him. We talked about the opportunities to work closer together as a company and as Shanghai. Shanghai is our home. And what we're doing right now is working with a lot of Chinese companies in the biotech space to work together for China strategies, to work together, or China for the world strategies. So we see China emerging in terms of a hub for innovation in biotech, a number of other different areas. There's some really interesting assets that are in the area of women's health and assets that are in the areas of kind of what I would call outside of women's health, but still touch the area of women's health innovation. And so we've done a couple of deals, one actually with a company called Henlius, which is a well-known biotech company. We talked about moving manufacturing facilities into China. We talked about a number of different initiatives around fertility investments, because there's a lot of things being done in Beijing right now for fertility support. But I think Shanghai, Mayor Gong is also very interested in being able to address that issue. So, Shanghai is incredibly dynamic and incredibly innovative, and there's a lot of investments going on right there, and it's our second largest market, so we have a lot of investments.
Yeah, and how is Organon planning to work with these advanced research institutions or those medical organizations that you mentioned in Shanghai to boost prosperity and healthcare in the broader Asia Pacific region?
Well, I think it's in the interests of the Chinese government as well as Shanghai to create an environment where the world can see some of the innovation that China actually brings to the table. Because it's always been to some extent where innovations have come into China, and now we need to see kind of, especially in the healthcare field, innovations from China going out to the rest of the world. I'll give you an example of an innovation that came into China. I, at that time, was working in another company, and I got a call in the middle of the night to come to China to negotiate for bringing human papillomavirus, HPV vaccine, Gardasil, to China. The Chinese government was amazing. It sprung into action, and what usually sometimes takes 4 or 5 years to get regulatory approval, they did it in 9 days. Subsequent to that, millions of women have been vaccinated against HPV in China. And so that's an example of innovations coming into China. Now we need to take innovations from China outside to the rest of the world to have the same type of impact. It's great to have President Xi here along with President Biden. We met actually recently with the Vice President of China in New York in conjunction with the United Nations meeting. There was a number of CEOs. The one thing we said to him is it would be wonderful to have President Xi here, because then it'll send a signal to the rest of the world that we're on a good path.